What's going on, everybody? We've got the crew here back for another Algorand Mondays. What is going on, everybody?
Nothing much. Got some good news. Yeah, everybody, we out here.
Lots of
Yeah,
good
what's
news. Lots of
good?
good news.
How's
What's
everybody doing?
We're doing great. Well, I'm doing great. I don't want to speak for you guys, but I'm doing great.
Yeah, shout out to the audience, everybody tapping in. I hope y'all having a blessed day.
For sure, for sure. We've got a lot to talk about. I guess first things first, let's give a shout out to one NFT for those NFTs you guys just saw. If you want, I can pull them up again, but we'll do that. We'll do that again in the middle. But
Shout out to
let's
Brandon.
let's start off with that news. The Earth Day Times Square announcement. What do you guys think?
Well, off,
Massive.
yeah, massive. I would say off the top, a great idea. I did wake up into all the messages from David. I was like, oh shit. But the green, I love the green looking of the billboard. It highlights, it's attractive to the eyes. But the overall plan of shutting down the power in New York for an hour, genius.
Yeah,
Shout out
let's
to
tell
Kelly.
everyone exactly what it is. So basically, Algorand is going to be buying, I think, like an hour slot. Where in the beginning, maybe first probably 10 minutes or so, they're going to do like a little message and then blank it all out. So everything's going to go dark, which will be really interesting because, in my opinion, just a normal advertisement, a lot of people can ignore those. A lot of people just on look don't even look at them. But if everything goes dark at Times Square, for anyone that's ever been there, that usually doesn't happen. So you'll have more people asking questions like why, why is it dark, which will be really interesting.
Yeah, and I think it even mentioned there like that picture that it shows there is not like probably legit what it's going to be, but I do
Yeah.
feel like there will be, obviously I hope it's green. I hope it's something bright, catches the eye, really gets, especially if they bought out all of them. That means like normally, like I say, I've never been to New York, never been to Times Square, but I've seen pictures, I've seen videos, and like normally when you're there, there's like all kinds of different advertisements. Like you don't see one thing taking all of them, so you really have to kind of up your game to make sure people watch yours. Whereas
Yep.
like this, if they
Yeah.
bought all of them, everything blanket is going to go probably all Algorand green, everything. They
Yeah.
could even do like the cool intro they have on their website where it's like the growing, the grass growing and stuff, kind of
Footsteps.
taking over everything. Like there could be a lot of cool ways they could do it, and that's obviously going to grab so many people's attention. One thing I hope that they have set up, which who knows if they do, but like I would have someone there like taking some videos, like taking something up with live people saying like, do you know what this is? Like trying to get some like feedback from like the, just the people that are there experiencing. I think that'd be really cool. I would, if I was in New York, I would be there doing some interviews with live people like, do you know what Algorand is? Type stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So it's basically, Stacey Kelly, what y'all need to do is fly us out. We'll go out there and we'll interview people.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, this will
Yeah.
take place on Earth Day Eve, so the night before Earth Day, 8 to 9 p.m. Let's see, and what else? There's a little bit more to it, which is really interesting. The darkening Times Square for a duration of 1 hour saves roughly 6,500 kilowatt hours. This amount of energy is equivalent to the energy required to complete 350 million finalized transactions on chain or 2 work weeks worth of network liveliness, which is pretty sweet.
That's huge.
Yeah, that is sweet. Because then if the
Oh,
comparison, they should have put a
there is
Ethereum and a Bitcoin comparison. Do they
Here is
got
a
one?
Bitcoin comparison.
Okay.
So, as I said, this amount is equivalent to 350 million transactions on Algorand, and it's equivalent in comparison. It would power up to 6 finalized transactions on the Bitcoin network, which is,
Right. For just one and a
pr-
half seconds.
yep,
Yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So what Algorand is trying to present to the world that they're even more green than Bitcoin. They're more valuable. They're trying to position themselves as the most green and valuable big crypto in the whole world. And I can definitely agree. The finality is it's unprecedented. Doesn't shut down. It's been going. And it's kind of like I was talking to my lady about this, like green initiatives are definitely going to take over, and it totally makes sense. We only got one planet. We're not going to Mars, not no time in our lifetime. You know what I'm saying? That's a shot to Elon, but we got to put all our initiatives on the planet Earth that we're on right now. So big kudos to Algorand to make some visibility with this.
yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Honestly, you really hit the nail on the head. But this is of course, one a big selling point for Algorand comparatively. I even did a video comparing the energy intensity of many blockchains. It was a pretty boring video because it dealt with a lot of numbers, like analyzing the kilowatt hours per transaction of like 15 blockchains. But feel free to check that out if you're interested. But Algorand, of course, as we know, it landed number one.
Yeah.
And I feel like what's cool too is like, obviously Stacey hinted the end of March that there was going to be big Earth Day, reveal for Algorand. And then obviously kind of just hinted about more marketing just being poured out. And, we see the metaverse thing that's going to be filmed at like 4 a.m. or open for people to see at 4 a.m. on Earth Day. So it's, blockchain in the metaverse and whatnot. So that'll further, put Algorand out there. But my question would be, is this the big news that Stacey was, saying that she wasn't going to tell anybody? Because she said she's not saying anything, but I will say this, when I went over, she did tweet out today, obviously after everything, and said, let me find where to go.
Yeah, just to answer your question, just to fill in the time before you find that, I don't think this is it. I think there is more to it. What do you think,
I
Sibyl?
think you removed the tweet.
I would say there has to be more to it because they made the announcement, so that would make sense. Today's not Earth Day. I'm thinking there's going to be a big partnership because that's what Algorand needs. Like, say we get a partnership with the city of New York or something, or Miami. It's got to be a global major move to put attention. Because
she removed the tweet.
She removed it.
Yeah, the tweet said something like, now it says like #AlgoFam or Algorand. Now you know why I've been keeping you in the dark all week or all this time or something. And so I was thinking like, oh, that was what was making me think, oh, this is the big thing that she was kind of talking about. But I don't know, she removed that tweet. So maybe she didn't want to say that yet, or I don't know, but it was on there, like not even like right before we started the show. I was looking at it because I was going to talk about it.
Yeah, there's got to be another.
I think there's more to it. I mean, we'll see though. We'll certainly see.
I mean, I feel like it does obviously set the stage for bigger things to come. I mean, if they, obviously that's not all the money. All the money's not going to just buy 1 hour's worth of New York billboards to make them go dark, even though that's going to be awesome. And them being
a lot of money.
Yeah, I think there is definitely room for like so many other big things to come in. I just hope that we see some big names and partnerships coming alongside of Algorand, because that's what the masses want. They want somebody that they can relate to, on some type of level, whether it's a sporting, an athlete that's backing it, or just someone in the tech space, or someone that they feel like they can, associate with, pushing it as well. I mean, look at like Snoop Dogg with Cardano. I know we're going to talk about that later, but that stuff has pull. People love Snoop Dogg, and if he's down with it, why wouldn't I be down with it?
I got a question for y'all. Like, is there any popular, like, I guess, green initiative companies in any field, like, or anybody's pushing like that? I can't think of any.
I mean, we've got Climate Trade, which is working on making Climate Coin and the Climate Trade DAO. And of course, that's who partners with Algorand to offset their carbon impact. But other than that, I'm sure there are some, but I couldn't answer that.
Yeah, I feel like it's still so early on. Like, I feel like every company and every industry is like, they have that pride, that, area of their company that looks towards being green and how they can, cut emissions and save energy and all that stuff. But I mean, I don't really know of any mainstream. And that's why I'm wondering, like, with the partnerships like that, like Algorand still has to, I feel like, branch out and make some of those big partnerships with maybe, people and companies that are not fully green yet, but are working towards that and can use Algorand to leverage it. And I'm sure they are. Like, Kelly, obviously, they know what they're doing. I would never have thought to do something like that. And even Stacey Warden gave, all the credit to Kelly, saying that she came up with the idea. So hats off. I'm excited for Earth Day, pre-Earth Day, whatever you want to call it. It's like Christmas Eve, baby.
Yeah.
So will this affect the price? I'm not sure, but I think it does in the long term. Helps
long term.
Algorand in the position in the spotlight position. Because like,
it's
real
tough.
quick, what I got jumped at what Crypto.com did with the Lakers arena. That gives them 20 years of that visibility. So we need a deal similar like that, like Boston Celtics arena or something of that nature would be the game changer, I think.
Literally last night during the game 1 of the NBA playoffs, Algorand's name is going around the the big square, the big jumbotron or whatever it is in the middle. So like, I will say I've seen many games like taking pictures of
I've
where it's
seen
got
some.
Algorand's logo going either around all the way around the arena or around the jumbotron. So I mean, that would be awesome. Who sponsors the Garden right now? Is it a bank?
I'm not sure.
Honestly, I really don't know, and
I'm gonna
I
look it
live
up.
right next to it.
You really?
Yeah, but I'm thinking with Algorand, with branding, like, because I like the logo thing at Boston, but we need like a naming rights, because a logo is not enough for this blockchain because it's not familiar yet to the masses. But yeah, I need to see the whole arena renamed. They'll spend that 20 billion or million or whatever that number is.
Yep, I agree. I agree. So let's talk about some new projects now. What are you guys seeing out there? I know there is the NFT testnet. You used that a little bit, David. You said, how was that?
I used it this morning to obviously get mine. Crypto for Change .algo is the one that I got. Obviously, it's testnet, so you do have to have testnet algos. I actually have a post on my Twitter. If you want to go try it out, you can click the link there to get your testnet algos. But it was really simple for me. Obviously, it wasn't, mine was not taken. All you do is connect your wallet, mint the NFT, which is really cool. If you go in there and you start typing in what you want, say, the one you specifically want shows as taken, it'll actually show you some others that you can also get that are similar to what you're trying to go for, and it shows the price.
Look at that. You can
Dang,
buy.
Banana
You can.
not algo, 155 algo.
There you go.
How is that premium? Mine was like 27, so obviously I'm not premium.
So is it? So this is testnet, not live, then, right?
Yeah, just testnet, just testing. People being able to, create their NFT or their non-fungible domain, and then obviously, I'm sure you'd be able to practice sending testnet algos to yourself using their service. And obviously, this, for those who don't know, this makes it super easy. Where if you have somebody who wants to send you algos, or down the road, instead of theoretically, instead of having to give them that long wallet address and worry about missing a letter or something like that, you can just type in crypto for change.algo, send your algos, and theoretically I would get them. But there is a caveat, and we kind of talked about it before. You also have another domain service naming thing on Algorand that is also creating domains. So there is the question of which one, if are they both able to offer the same domain name and things like that. I've not dug too far in depth into it, but nonetheless, I'm excited for, as these both continue to grow and one does come out as the winner, or if they both do, just the usability of being able to send algos and send stuff without having to type out the long passwords.
So I know they got this idea from Unstoppable Domains. That's like the Ethereum naming service.
Yep, and ENS as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think this is a great idea if they can, be in unity and pull it off, or we don't have people doubling up on names. And I seen like one of the chats from a while ago, I think it was with Chris from Reach. He was talking about like someone bought up his name and then try to sell it to him. So we're going to see a lot of those type of things happening, where people want to buy up all the popular people's names and then try to flip it back to them.
See, obviously, I know you can't stop that. It's a decentralized world. In a decentralized world, that's the open market. That's the whole idea. But like, I really think it's such a dumb thing. Like, and I'll even say, like, I'm not going to pay some crazy amount of money to get that. Like, at least not at this stage. Like, I'd wait until people finally just get bored of trying to, take every single person's, and obviously we may not see much of that in the algo space, because it's not like there's people who are that crazy popular, but I'm sure some of the biggest names like Algoana and stuff like that are going to have trouble getting theirs unless they they may be able to work out a way to make sure they got it before it even goes live. But
yeah, that's
for the average person, I do see that problem. Also, TD Bank is who sponsors the Garden. So the, place where the Celtics play. So right. Come on, Algorand, in the city, get that bank off the name of the Garden and put Algorand in big letter. Either that, or let's get Gillette Stadium. Go after the Patriots. One of the two.
Oh wow, that would be even bigger.
It is cool to see all the ecosystem partners that are going to support NFTs right off the bat, like MyAlgo, Parawallet, Algo Signer, Algo Explorer, DFly, Algo Gator, Dartroom, Humble, and so many more, obviously, Algo Mint, XBacked, Folks Finance, and so on. So that'll be good. It's already they're already going to be integrated with a lot, like right off the get-go. So that's cool to see.
I'm starting to get a little bit more attention. I got Scaramucci retweeting 2 of my tweets now and liking the past few I put out. So maybe we can get him on the channel to talk.
Oh, that would be dope. Yeah. I got some questions for Scaramucci.
Right.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so next on the list for new projects, we've got Algo Astros. You wanted to speak on these a little bit, Will.
Yeah.
What do you got? Let's pull this up right here.
Please pull it up. No, I'm speaking on it because, for one, I look at the headline price. It's about a 20-cent token right now. I've been getting tagged for the last few days by some people about these Astros. But what I do know is their floor price is around 700, right? Yep, 750 right there. And they come with some type of utility to get headline tokens and to be in their circle, I guess, of influence. Honestly, the website does look cool. I'm not too big personally on paying a lot of money for NFTs at the moment, because I'm not fully sold on which one would be around for a long time. But I will say this is interesting. They do have Save the Dolphins, and they're doing something with ocean donations. So I can always support donations to helping out animals and things of that nature. That's what I got there. I just wanted to bring it up because it's keep getting caught up in my mind. So what do y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've seen the Astros around here and there, but I have yet to do any digging on it. So everything you've just brought my attention to is first news to me. But honestly, I mean, it sounds good if they're actually going to donate at least 10% to that charity. As you said, I probably won't be buying too expensive of NFTs anytime soon. But
No. I like coins too much to buy an expensive NFT. But can you click roadmap?
Yep, let's do it.
I will say, I've recently, this is the first NFT I've bought in a while with the Mellows that just came out. I bought a couple of those. I actually have a giveaway going on right now for one of them, and mainly because the floor was 25 algo. They started adding proceeds or secondary sales proceeds to the DGen token, or I guess to add liquidity on that pool, and with where that's at, which I know that's pretty in deep with the Algorand NFT community. But I'm still like, the thing that really gets me worried about so many of these NFTs that you see on Algorand, one, it's still so new, and there's not, obviously some of the artists are doxed. We know who they are. Some of them, like the Astros, have good platforms attached to them, like Headline and stuff like that. So they're definitely, I can see the utility, but I still wonder about how much of these sales are legitimate and how much of them are just like wash sales and just people trying to pump or raise floors to just get people to buy them. And obviously, I'm not gonna, I don't know these people and what they're looking to do, but every single NFT has some form of charity that they're giving to, which I think is great. I just hope they're not doing that just to, 10% goes to a charity, 90% goes to them. And that's where, I just wonder, are they pulling at heartstrings type thing?
Yes, I think it's the ESG heartstring, environmental, social. I think they're definitely pulling at people's heartstrings. Because then my question always goes to when we talk about donations, like Red Cross or whoever. Like, I know from being in these worlds of administration costs eats up 90%. Personnel administration. So if we send in that 10%, does it get to a dolphin or whatever charity? Does it plant a tree? That's always my question. But I do love charity aspects, but I do know administration eats up most of charities.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, like I say, I just take NFTs and the whole space right now as like, it's fun. If you have extra money and you like supporting projects and you want to support what they're doing and the movements they're pursuing, then by all means, go buy them, trade them, flip them. I just see it as like, I try to take advantage of them if I think I can make some money in them. But there's none that I'm really holding on to thinking it's going to make me a millionaire, like some people do, thinking that this next NFT is going to become the next Bored Apes or whatever it may be.
Speaking, Bored Apes, they I think they bought CryptoPunks too. So people are looking for the next CryptoPunk, the next Bored Ape, so that they
I would say we're probably about to see it. I kind of hinted at it earlier. Snoop Dogg and someone else. It's not just Snoop Dogg, but Snoop Dogg and someone is partnering with Cardano, and I don't know if they're music NFTs or if they're art or if it's going to be a mixture of both. But obviously, they're partnering with Cardano, which I think is another thing, and we kind of mentioned about it, having these big name figures in Algorand. Like right now, when you think about Algorand, even when you watch famous YouTubers or big YouTubers like BitBoy Crypto, Altcoin Daily, they say over and over again, they'll tell you they own a lot of algo, but they'll say the biggest Algorand problem is it's boring. Like nothing's going on there unless you really love DeFi. Like if you're
What's
super
always
into
boring?
what?
That's why like Apple and Microsoft, Google.
Well,
These are great.
that's true.
That's
I'm
why
not saying it's not a good investment for the long term. Obviously, I believe that, but I'm saying as far as hype and as far as getting people to be interested at a surface level to then go do their own digging and find out maybe what Algorand could do for the future of finance and all those things. But when's Algorand going to see some type of collaboration like we're seeing right now with Snoop and Cardano?
hopefully Earth Day.
Who would it be though?
Yeah.
We need,
Who knows?
that's why I keep saying Greta.
Oh man.
No, that would be awful. I don't know. Maybe
green side,
All right. So next on our list of new projects, we've got Airblocks and Weiru. What do you know about this, Sewell? I know Weiru is trying to be that like decentralized internet, correct?
Yes.
Is
yes.
this are these like their NFTs?
So Airblocks, yes, are their NFTs. So essentially what they're doing, and shout out to Charvel, he the CEO. I got videos dropping tomorrow that is all about Weiru. It's a podcast. But yeah, Weiru, these Airblocks, essentially, if you buy these Airblocks, they're like, I guess, 111 algos, but that helps. All that money is used to help bring internet to other people. So they're basically taking these algos, put it in the treasury so that people can then basically get free internet out there. And they're tapping in
a way of crowdfunding, right?
Yes, it's a new way to crowdfund. They have like a lot of investors like Borderless Capital and all these type of people. They're well supported in the ecosystem. But I like what they're actually trying to do of bringing internet to all the people who don't have the internet. Because like like a country like El Salvador, they have 70% unbanked, right? So, but if they all had Wi-Fi, you can cut that number in probably a half because they all can bank themselves on the internet. So I think that's a lot of value.
Yeah. Speaking on just what you said there, I think even takes me back to just a couple like last week when Silvio had that interview with Cointelegraph at the Paris Blockchain Summit, talking about how like, right now he, talking about how, Ethereum's proof of stake has just been keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And there's this desire to, move towards this next step of blockchain where anyone anywhere can participate, because he said even in there he said I'm tired of seeing where DeFi is only accessible to the rich and the wealthy. And when you look at Bitcoin and when you look at Ethereum, that is what they are. They are only you are not going to be able to tell someone in a third world country, hey, you can always just go mine Bitcoin to change your life. Like just go buy a $10,000 computer and start mining. And then for Ethereum, go spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to buy either ETH itself and hope that it moons, or if you could be a validator, that still takes like 32 ETH. So you had to almost 100 grand to be a validator. Whereas when you look at Algorand, you can participate in consensus. You can be a part of the of governance with little as one algo, which right now is trading at 71 cents. Most people have that. And you can participate in DeFi and with that one algo, and you wouldn't have to worry about fees taking all your money. Like
you know what else is dope about that, David? Is like it's the whole thesis of Algorand is to have a borderless economy, that it's a fair shared economy, and that is what they're doing. So Silvio was right. It's like if you're using, he didn't say the names, but I'll say the name, Solana, and it shuts down for 13 hours. How do we use our healthcare? How do we use DeFi if we can't get on for 13 hours? Right. Or same with Polygon, or as you said with Ethereum, if I got to pay $20 a transaction and I need to make a whole bunch of transactions, I'm gonna go broke trying to make them. So and then
you throw in forking, which literally, it was funny. I went back and read. I still like I need to do more research on just Ethereum's tokenomics when it launched and whatnot. But it was so interesting to read just how literally forking was the whole idea of Ethereum. Like they were planning for forks like down the road. And it's
it's all bad. And when you look at, just real quick, I'm gonna hop back to Weiru. What is dope also about this project is like they're using essentially, like this is a good part, Wi-Fi credits. Like the token is going to be used for people can pay. So this is the key that Charvel brought up to me, is that a project like this, imagine this, you go onboard 1 million people in Latin America. What is the one blockchain they're going to use? It's Algorand, because that's the same blockchain that they're already familiar with. They're already set up, and they're getting internet via this blockchain. So it makes sense to be like, oh shit, let's look at AlgoFi. Let's look at other projects after we have been onboarded. It's a great idea.
Yep.
So that's
I
why
agree.
and they got their and I'm promoting right now, they got their air blocks dropping today. I'm not shy about promoting when I do.
I was actually gonna look at buying one of their
I'm thinking about it.
the NFTs, but I think I tried getting in before the floor price ran up, because I think they were a lot cheaper than 111, and I missed out.
They sold out quick too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like stuff like that. You know, it's like it got the social aspect, but it's always the key underlying is Algorand's the underlying tech that they're all getting exposed to.
Yep.
Have you guys talked about or learned about Algo DAO yet, or have any thoughts about it?
Yeah, that's another one that I was having an interview. We had to reschedule, but I learned a lot. It's a launchpad incubator, and they also like have I think it was like 50 something questions that the people. So you got to like really submit your pitch deck. You got to really have your eggs in order, your ducks in order, so that way you can get support on this project. But once you do go in, you get incubator, you get all the support, you get a small Algorand grant to get your project developed. And what it does for us as the consumers or retail investors, we at least know that the foundation and all of these people have vetted this project. So it's not a random rug pull. There's vesting schedules and things of that nature. That's what I do know.
What's really interesting to me is it seems like they're going to have two tokens, and one's the ADAO token, which will be pretty much the governance token for the DAO, and then the other one will be the Sigma token, which will essentially be like an index fund token, based on all of the projects that launch off the launchpad, which would be really, really interesting just to see how that plays out. I like the concept. I hope it does well. It's very intricate though. Like when you're on the website, there is a lot to it. So there's probably a lot that I'm not understanding. So
it's like a government hierarchy tier. You got the people that are more vetted that can make higher decisions, right? It's kind of like Algorand governments. They want to do the thing where they want what's it called? XGov. Yeah, similar to that, where it's like the higher tiers, you get to make more decisions or want to be more involved, which means that you put more money up, more collateral, and more time in. So you kind of got to like buy and earn your way into making decisions with this. So yeah, it's definitely is an intricate thing, and it has to be explained better by them. But that's what I do know.
Yeah, look at this. This is really interesting. The Algo Pad, the Boutique Launchpad for Algorand's ecosystem,
Boutique,
the
I like that.
Sigma, which is the tokenized liquidity and Algorand's innovation index, Algo DAO, which is a tokenized incubator and systems governance layer. But then you get to what you were saying. Your level is federation, Algo DAO citizens. There's a high council with Algo DAO Democratic Board, the Vanguard, Algo DAO Governing Council.
Sounds like some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, it does.
What's
But
this?
again,
We got Sigma, Sigma
really
quadratic
confusing.
farming. That sounds intense.
That means it's so confusing that it's going to possibly moon because
Or possibly rogue. No, I'm kidding.
No, I don't think it's a rug. I think it's
No,
a
no, I don't
really.
either.
I mean, there's just like so much big backing behind it. It's a
they
really
did
interesting
that.
project, and it looks really, really well thought through.
Yeah,
But-
shout out to Joe Fisher.
Yeah, for sure. I've actually talked to him a little bit
He's
as well.
a chill guy.
For sure. I hope to have Nathan on my show as well. Hopefully you have him on your show, because the more questions are asked, the better, especially because I believe they're launching their token next week or the week after. So, of course, the more questions that can be asked before the token launch, the better.
Yeah. I'm honestly, I'll say this side note. I am hyped with the Algorand community right now.
Oh, it's amazing. Dude,
Yeah,
it's
remember
amazing.
a time ago, especially when I think when me and David met. I seen JT around too for at least a year. But anyways, a year ago, there was no applications. I was on Algorand where there were no applications.
All we were talking about was yielding.
Yeah. So I was like, you, and there was nothing. So now it's so many that I could barely keep up. But the good part is now they're tapping into real world utility more. Like shout out to Lofty, but like more of these projects are happening. And then it goes back to what Silvio is like. The more of these projects, the more that we can get people to tap in. Not a monopoly, but Algorand could dominate because it's the thing that we can actually use.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, that's a perfect segue to how do you guys feel about the market in general?
Well,
Price action or just
right.
like the macro like stuff?
Everything, everything. What are your opinions?
I mean, I'll
What?
say this. I've still been buying. I buy algo at least once a week, if not, more often. Obviously, I bought some this morning once the news dropped. Call me an emotional trader. I don't know, but I didn't go out and break the bank, but I definitely bought some more algo because there's definitely possibilities that once this marketing that they have planned kind of comes to fruition, like maybe this is a moment of time where Algorand will not correlate itself with what Bitcoin's doing or what the overall market is. I mean, we've seen that. I saw a crypto that was built on Ethereum not too long ago come out. It was called Steppen, where all you did was you would earn this step in crypto if you went out and walked. Like the more you walked, the more you exercised, the more you would earn. And that crypto was running, it ran from nothing to top 60 in rank when Bitcoin was tanking, like literally during the Bitcoin conference. So, like, there are definitely at times where something can run even if Bitcoin's bleeding out. So I hope that we see some, with all the marketing that's coming out with Earth Day, I'm bullish in that respect, obviously with just what Algorand's doing there. But,
You know,
definitely there's still a lot of macro things with the war going on still.
Yep.
Obviously Bitcoin bleeding out. There's, I think Russia just came out and said that they're banning the ability to have non-custodial wallets or something along that line. So like,
Yep.
there's FUD. There's always FUD. I feel like.
I got a question or idea thought. JT, you had Michael Cotton on, which is from Meld, right? They do the
Yep.
custody, or they have someone else doing the custody for them.
Yep.
Did you guys talk about Algorand, or I might be throwing this up now, Algorand doing what Terra Luna is doing and purchasing Bitcoin so that we can hold Bitcoin with Meld, that way that the GoBTC is more valuable, other than just individuals or retail investors doing it, like as a blockchain as a whole using Bitcoin as a reserve.
Well, I mean, I believe that's already probably possible since we already have Bitcoin on chain. The
Mhm.
only thing is right now Algo Mint, I mean, who's like connected to Meld as well because he runs both of those. Um,
Yeah, that's what I meant. Algorand, sorry.
no, that's cool. That's cool. They have their Bitcoin held with Copper, but they are planning on bringing that all on chain within the next couple of months or 2 quarters or something like that. So soon there's going to be a bunch of Bitcoin held in contracts on chain anyway. So
Nice.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure something like that to that extent could happen. He spoke a little bit as well to the idea of actually having gold-backed stable coins, which would be really, really interesting. Of course, that'd be really not terribly difficult with him because of his connection to Meld Gold. So that would be really interesting to see. But back to the fear in the market, this wouldn't be a bad time to buy. I mean, we're at close to historic lows. Historic lows in the fear is about 10. We're at about 22. But honestly,
Bitcoin
anything
or
below
just
this.
overall?
Is this
What's
just
that?
all crypto?
Yeah, this is Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index,
Okay.
and anything below 30 is usually a buy. Anything above 70 is usually where you start selling. Anything in
Mhm.
between, uh, really just hold or dollar cost average in general. At
Wow.
least that's my tactic. Of course, not a financial advisor, but it really works out pretty well. You could see if you overlaid a price chart over this Fear and Greed chart, you'd really see a lot of similar movement for sure.
Yeah. I feel like, just looking at that chart right there, like you see a good amount of like when you're down in that 20 to 30 range, it seems to kind of stick there for a while before popping out. I feel
Yep.
like since we just entered into that area, I think, obviously he's not saying it has to, because
Too
if you looked at
much.
the one right before it, it didn't stay there long. But I could definitely see everything wicking down like something crazy, like a flash crash, and then everything bouncing up. Like even if Algo goes back to test 67 cents and it doesn't hold it, I I could definitely see something happening where it maybe wicks down to like, 60 cents or 58 cents or 57 cents, something crazy where a lot of people might sell, but
Hey, I'm
then
totally down with this going back down to 10 because that has been usually historic great buy opportunities when this thing hits 10. So I'm with it.
Yeah,
Let's
shoot for 10.
yeah,
exactly. Exactly. But overall, I
bring
mean,
the fear.
yeah, overall, I think it's a good time to buy. But yeah, it's a good point you bring up. Just because I think it's a good time to buy, that doesn't mean it's going to pop tomorrow. You know.
I feel like the good time to buy is every chance you have when, like I say, obviously don't risk money you can't you're not willing to lose, because we're all just
Every
kind of playing
chance.
right. We're all playing a gamble on which blockchain we think is going to take over and become the next Ethereum, Solana, whatever you want to call it. But dollar cost averaging, I've found out to be one of the best strategies when it comes to not trying to time the market, but just time in the market.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I try to buy when when the fear is up. When I go on Twitter, and even when I look at my own portfolio, I'm like, oh shit, I want to sell because I'm losing money. But I that's when I try to buy, when I get off
Yep.
feeling like that. So I bought more algos like 2 days ago.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna buy some more after the show, and I buy more algo pretty much every Thursday is my dollar cost average. But when we're in these lows, I certainly unload some of the stable coins that I have. My dollar cost average comes out of my paycheck, but I have plenty of stable coins that I've been trying to time. I try to time the market with my stable coins, and I dollar cost average with my paycheck. Kind of get the best of both worlds there.
I will say, ever since the news dropped this morning, as Stacy put out, and obviously all the stuff going on with Algorand, it has moved from 69 cents was where it was at this morning when I woke up, and it has moved all the way up to now being over 72, almost 73 cents. So the market's
Nice.
obviously reacting a little bit to the news, but there's no telling if that's going to actually hold or if it's going to fall through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is crypto. It could do that 4 times today.
it's been
Oh, yeah.
hugging. It's been hugging this line that I drew. This nice curved angle that I drew not too long ago. It broke through it right before that news, but now you can see now it's just kind of like a wick.
I do
And
like seeing, like, when you look at those charts, I love seeing the long wicks on the bottom, because that does show that there's a good amount of bulls that come into the market to keep it from falling below that 67 cents line.
yep,
Yeah.
long
67
long
cents
wicks.
gain.
Long wicks on the bottom usually signify people buying, and long wicks on the top show people selling. It's a
Yeah.
good little candle chart reading trick right there. But yeah, I'd like to see it actually successfully get back over here and continue this trend up here. Anything below here, and I get worried that we're dropping to 50 cents.
Yeah.
I have a question here, though. When looking at it from a chart perspective, because we hit 60 when the bull market first started coming down this past time, we hit like 69 cents. Then we came back up, and then we hit the 67 cents. Right, maybe a couple weeks ago or however long ago it was. Then we ran all the way up back to $1. And then now we've come back down and we've hit 68 cents pretty much twice, or 68, 69. Is that, from a charting perspective, does it have to come all the way down and retest 67, or is hitting 68 cents pretty much, do you see that as almost the same as hitting that 67 and bouncing off?
Certainly nothing has to happen, but I will say the more it retests the support down here, the more likely it becomes that it breaks the support. There's like a phrase. It's like the more times somebody comes knocking on this door, the more likely it is eventually going to be opened. So, that is something to worry about. But so far it has been a pretty strong support right here around the 67 to 69 cent mark. So we'll see.
That's also why I feel like right now is like it's not do or die time, but I feel like if we're going to stay above 67 cents, this marketing and just everything that Algorand has been doing all of 2022. I mean, you've seen so many protocols coming online. TVL has been growing at a fast clip. The market cap to TVL ratio has come down dramatically. And now you have all this marketing. It's going to be hopefully bringing in lots more retail and lots more attention. This is where I feel like Algorand needs to do something to capitalize on it, and hopefully not, fall through, that huge level of support, because that's obviously going to disappoint a lot of people, which maybe, doesn't matter, obviously, maybe in the long run, but, sucks.
So there are a couple good things in some degree. This is the dollar chart, and it's been on a nice bull run since May of last year. But as you can see, it's on the top of this channel right now. So that, in my opinion, signifies it's going to come down, at least in the short term, before deciding if it's going to continue this bull run. But if you zoom out, you can see it's also hitting the top of a decades-long downtrend.
Ooh.
So it's in this decades-long downtrend, trending back from like the 70s, and it's about to hit the top of that. So there's a huge possibility it gets rejected and continues that downtrend, which would be good for crypto. But of course, we can't deny that there's also this opportunity that continues this macro uptrend that it's sort of been in since like 2010, and more significantly since about a year ago. So that's also a possibility, but I kind of lean on the side that its bull run is about to be over, which would be a good thing good thing for crypto and some risky stocks. Honestly, I know a lot of people are in tech stocks as well.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, JT, and obviously see where you can chime in as well. What do you guys think with, obviously how much, and you normally have this chart pulled up, like the Bitcoin to algo correlation in like, how they move. Is Algorand still totally dependent upon Algorand or on Bitcoin moving, or do you think Algorand with the marketing that's about to come out and with what it's done in 2022, do you think that's enough to where it could separate and make its own run, even if the overall crypto market is still going down? Because obviously Bitcoin, it has it, it's what it's doing, and obviously there's maybe manipulation or whatever you want to call it. Ethereum, though, it's got ETH 2.0 is pushed until who knows when. Like it's they should keep kicking the can down the road. So there's reason why ETH shouldn't be running. I mean, there's reasons I think why other layer ones aren't running, whether it be Solana having downtime, high gas fees on other ones, you name it. What do you guys think there?
I'll do my short answer first. Bitcoin is still the main dog. It's the ETF of all of crypto. Is over half the market, or just about half the market. So I think in Algorand and all the rest of them still is dependent on Bitcoin's success. Like period. That's the billionaires.
I feel like we've come past. Don't you feel like we've come past like the area of like Bitcoin's gonna be successful? Like, don't we just like, isn't that already like not saying for sure a thing, but like, we know Bitcoin's going to continue to go up and to the right. Like, obviously, yes, there's going to be dips that come in the future, but with the adoption that we're seeing with some of the biggest companies out there, Stripe and PayPal and, you name them, partnering with this. So like,
you got to think about it. Bitcoin is still not bigger than like Apple and things like that. So it's still, or Bitcoin, yeah, it's not. The whole crypto market's not. So I'm thinking we still need more investors get in for that. Some of these other cryptos can then go on their own runs and not.
Yeah, I will say I did. Oh yeah, go ahead, JT.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be anytime too soon that it breaks completely. I mean, altcoins typically, even if they follow Bitcoin on a price dynamic, they'll usually like outperform. So they'll still move up at the same time. But usually if Bitcoin moves up like 20%, the altcoin might move up 30 or 40%. Yep. And I could see Algo having a great time once Bitcoin starts moving up, and maybe move up 4, 5, 6x relative to Bitcoin. But I don't think it's going to move separately.
No, okay. I'm looking at those market caps too. Like you said, that's a good point. Altcoins do go up in terms of Bitcoin pricing, multiple X's, but at the same time, when Bitcoin goes down 5%, they get crushed.
Yeah. I will say, I did watch an interview.
It works in reverse for sure.
Yeah. I did watch an interview with Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, and another guy was on there. I didn't know who he was, but the moderator was asking both of them, and this is like maybe a couple weeks ago, asking both of them, what's your top 3 pick? Like, what's your looking at the market, like not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, what's your next layer one that you guys are excited about or project? And, Kevin O'Leary was saying like, he's not, obviously he's looking at more or less the companies that with which, blockchain and stuff are going to partner with and build on. So not really a layer one protocol or something out there, but he's saying the reason why he's not hyped about really jumping on anything like a Solana or Avalanche or, some of these other ones that are big names is because they've already had their massive runs. Like the people who got in early on Solana were buying Solana when it was 60 cents, $1 or something super cheap. And it's $100 right now. That is massive risk on that there is a lot of downside pressure that could happen there. And that's where I feel like Algorand still is in a class of its own as far as some of these layer ones. It has not had any type of run. I mean, the biggest run you've seen has gone from 10 cents up to, I mean, if you want to chart it all the way through the $2 and, something run, which not going to say that's not big. That
Solana
is a big run.
Also doesn't have like 10 billion coins. So that, matters as well in terms of.
Well, yeah, I get that. But even market cap wise, if you compare those, it's still not the same type of run. And with where Algorand has bled more than other L1s in the past, couple months, I think that there's a lot of opportunity in Algorand where there's not in certain other ones. So I think we could see some big people, hopefully with the marketing, start to take notice, start to see some opportunities to hop in on Algo cheap. It may be why the price even suffers because they may try to short it to get it even cheaper before they eventually run it up.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
once Algorand, pointing back to what Silvio said, if say what's a big thing out Kaiser, right? So Kaiser Hospital out here out here, I don't know if y'all have Kaiser out there, but if they partnered with like a well-known hospital chain to actually integrate them on the blockchain, that's when the game changes, where it's like, okay, this is not speculation. He said this is when speculation is about to be over. So that's why I'm thinking that Algorand is putting their chips into like real world utility with infrastructure that needs to be documented on the blockchain, like healthcare.
Yep.
And
Right.
definitely like supply chain, but not just the tickets we've seen with the airplane, but I'm thinking literally healthcare and farming with like
Yeah.
what Bilal and them doing. That makes more sense for an Algorand based type technology. And
And
Solana and them couldn't do it.
And a little bit of hopium for the question on algo versus Bitcoin. This is the algo versus Bitcoin chart. And as we can see here, we're reaching historic lows against Bitcoin. I mean, we've dipped a little bit below it before, but typically we ride within this range, and we have for really like 2 years. So I wouldn't be surprised to see algo almost 4x in comparison to Bitcoin
Let's go.
soon on the next move up, which would be pretty sweet. Of course, we don't know when the move up could be. It could
Right.
follow this channel that it's in right now down to like real historic lows where it dipped down here before popping out, maybe the end of May or something like that. It could, so I don't want to give a timing on when it's going to happen, but I do think by this, similar pattern that history may repeat itself and we might get back to this point where we're at like 0.0004 sats instead of like one more zero in front of that.
Here's another question for y'all. Which coin flips Ethereum? Since we know we're not getting a 2.0.
Algorand.
Algorand? Yeah,
It
that was
depends. Well, it depends on the timeline. It does.
Maybe. I mean,
I
I think this is a good
see.
time to go to that SALT conference that's coming up in the Bahamas. You got the Crypto Bahamas that's coming up, which is a massive platform where, there's going to be tons of huge speakers. Scaramucci, obviously, he's a big proponent of the SALT conference. And I even tweeted out just the stage event where Silvio is going to be speaking on the 27th. So I think it's a Wednesday. I wish we could see it live or some live stream, but I'm sure we'll have to wait until after and they'll release the videos. But 27th, he is going to be on stage. I'll let you get to it right there with the co-founder of Solana, the executive or chief executive officer of Ava Labs, Avalanche, co-founder of Near, and then obviously you have the founder of Algorand, Silvio. So this is going to be an event where Silvio is going to get to go head toe to toe. I think head to head, toe to toe with some of the L1s who I think actually can flip Ethereum, that are scalable, that can transact fast, and that have benefits that Ethereum won't have, right? And I think that is Solana, Avalanche, Near. Obviously, I'm bullish on Algorand, and I think that it's the best. But I hope that this is a moment where many people in the audience, because obviously it's a lot of money to go to this event. This is not a cheap thing where you're just going to have some kids flying down to watch it. These are going to be big businessmen, big investors who get to see all these people talk on stage. And I'm hopeful that Silvio really makes an impression with what Algorand can do.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, like we said, we've got Kathy Wood in the room as well. About literally minutes after Silvio speaks. The same with Mike Novogratz. So a lot of big names will be there, at least on the day that he's there. Of course, we don't know if he's staying there for the multiple days, of course. But yeah, I do hope and think he could make a lasting impression on a lot of people in that room. So time shall tell. Do you know if there's any way to register for the event to be able to watch it like live stream?
I already looked. They don't have any live streaming things. It's just in-person tickets. That's why I'm sure we'll have to wait until after it's done and get to watch. But I will say this too. Sam Bankman-Fried, right? He's the creator of FTX, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like in the next, because obviously, if you look back to like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, the top 10 of crypto and which ones were the number one, which ones, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it kind of changes. Obviously not Bitcoin. Bitcoin's always been number one. But other than that, you see a kind of a swapping of, who's taking these, top positions. I feel like FTX is going to become one of the top exchanges for crypto down the line. And I think that's only, hopefully, since Silvio is going to be on stage talking and the president of FTX, or one of the moderators is going to be someone from FTX. I'm hoping Algorand can get listed on such an exchange like this, because right now I think that exchange handles massive amounts of volume, even compared to like Binance, Coinbase, and other big exchanges.
So is FTX just an exchange, or is it also in blockchain? Or is it built on like Ethereum then or something?
I think it's its own exchange.
Yeah, I
from
don't
what
think
I
it's.
know, I don't think
I
it's
think it's
built
a
on
centralized
So it's more of
servers.
like Coinbase then. Just
Yeah, it's kind of like Coinbase or crypto.com or something, one of those. But if you go to, and I'll pull it, or actually, if you want to pull it up, JT, you can, since you have it there. But if you go to Coin Market Cap and you look at, pretty sure it's on exchanges, and you go to volume, and you look at them by volume, FTX, I want to say, oh shoot, let me get it back. It's one of the larger exchanges out there as far as volume goes. Exchanges at the top.
Yeah,
Sorry, you got it.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Actually,
Well, it's 1.8. It's right there.
It's down there.
Yeah, it's
Top 15. Maybe?
Obviously there's other ones that are there as well, but it's one of the ones I think that's up and coming. That and obviously the guy who runs it's, he knows what he's doing. He knows
That is billions, though. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hey, what do y'all know about Near?
I'm actually shocked to see that MEXC is that high up there.
Yeah, what y'all know about Near Protocol? I see they'll be there talking around Silvio as well.
I know it's got a lot of talk around the community right now, or not like the Algorand community, but the blockchain community in general. I do not know that much about it.
Me either. I hear the talk too. I haven't dived in.
And that's why I was hopeful we'd be I still haven't got any like live recordings from the Paris blockchain summit where Silvio got to talk with. There were some other blockchains out there, Concordium, and some other ones that were out there. Like, I love just getting to listen and learn from them as they're speaking on these things. So I hope we get some type of, even if it's hopefully you don't have to pay for it, but I hope there's a way to like stream after it's done to get to see what these people are saying. Obviously I wish it was like the Bitcoin conference where they just had a live stream and someone there to, do it. But I guess that's, all the elite and the rich people get to go to the Bahamas and celebrate and learn all this stuff before we do.
Yeah, shit. I'm gonna be out there next year, man. I plan big plans next year.
All right. What else do we have on the agenda today?
You gotta bring those avatars up again.
Yes. Let's bring up those avatars again and shout out one NFT on Twitter and wherever else he is selling his artwork.
Yeah, shout out to one NFT,
Boom.
aka Brandon, with the plug on the characters for us.
If anybody out there in the audience knows how to animate and can animate these and turn this into like a live thing where we can just do voiceovers on our avatars, that'd be amazing. Send us a DM or email or hit us up in this chat box or whatever you got to do.
Yeah. Now, I love how he got the backgrounds too up in there.
Yeah, you can see like my Algorand hat back there. Yeah. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, pretty cool. It was a great idea. I like them. The poster looked fire. Algorand Mondays going to the moon.
Yeah. Yeah. If Algorand don't go to the moon, Algorand Mondays going to the moon.
Algorand Mondays. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Algorand, pump the stock, guys. Hit the subscribe button on all of our channels, Passive Income Network, my channel, Crypto for Change. Pump that stock for sure. Yes. So let's go to the chat real quick because I saw a couple things in there before we get out of there.
There was a couple of people talking about liquidity and whatnot. They were going kind of back and forth. I don't know if they got their own answer. But
I saw that, and I do have something for them. But I have one question that I had no idea how to answer. It's from this girl, Mel. Did you look into Formula E NFTs? And I do not know what those are. Does anybody know what she's speaking of?
Maybe talking about the electric Formula One racing cars, the racing helmets.
Ooh, that might
I
be
bought mine. I bought the Rome one. I didn't get the silver or gold level, so I didn't win. Yeah, it was an NFT, and then if you got the silver level, you won like I think it was like actual physical helmet signed by the racers.
Envision.
Yeah, Envision.
If
you got the gold, then it's like some like I think you get flown out maybe to their next race or something and get to like hang with the team. So there's gonna be like I think 8 races in total. It's gonna be like Tokyo, New York. Obviously, there's gonna be places all over the world wherever they race. But every single racetrack you can buy, or every single race you can buy one of the NFTs and have a chance at winning And there may be something like if you collect all of them at the end, you can turn it into something else. I don't know, but so far I bought the first, and it was only like 25 algo, I want to say.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting actually. And to answer the question that I saw a lot of chat about about impermanent loss and providing liquidity to all of these exchanges and liquidity farming, it looks really enticing with some of these APRs. But all of you should do yourself a favor and go look at Whiteboard Crypto on YouTube and look at his videos right here on impermanent loss. There's one called What is Impermanent Loss in Crypto, and then one 6 ways to avoid impermanent loss. So you can learn about it, you can figure out how to avoid it, and then you can make more informed decisions with your investments.
Facts.
All right. Does anyone else have anything they want to add to this conversation before we begin to wrap things up?
I will say, since we were kind of talking about the SALT conference, also it's going on right now, which you might be able to get you might be able to stream it. I don't know. The Emerge Americas is going on right now in Miami. I actually just think that Folks Finance was up on the stage at the Algo section talking about obviously what Folks Finance is doing. So that's a pretty cool exposure thing to hopefully not only just meet with fans of Algorand and whatnot, but I'm sure there'll be lots of developers there that'll start to learn and hopefully find stuff like reach language, and we can start Algorand can really start growing in that respect, because that's also where I feel like Algorand really has to move forward, is getting the developers over from some of these bigger protocols to actually build cool things on Algorand.
Yeah, I mean, one thing Algorand is doing, they are really plugged in with universities, and I think that's smart to get the fresh talent.
Yeah, I even though I only live like 3 hours away from Miami, like all these events that go on in Miami like all year makes me wish I lived there. I'd be down there hanging out, meeting people like all the time.
Hey,
I'm planning for Decipher, so we definitely gonna be tapping in.
Heck yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I'm with it.
All
right.
Week.
Awesome. I will be at Decipher as well, and I hope to see many more faces there. I mean, hopefully they announce it soon, but I don't think they're going to announce it too soon.
That'd be a bigger arena, wouldn't you think? Because last year it was kind of like there was some COVID stuff, I feel like, that made a lot of people maybe not want to come. So I'm expecting it's going to be a bigger area and more people are going to be able to come.
I really hope so, because that main stage, if you weren't one of the first people sitting during some of those talks, the room filled up and you couldn't actually watch it in there, and you had to watch it out back in the tent they set up with the TV, which is cool. You could still, of course, watch the speech, but
I didn't even know where the main stage was.
Someone said Decipher in Dubai. I don't know about that. If it is, I can't get out there yet.
It's gonna be in Miami, guys, and I think we even mentioned this on Thursday when we talked. The reason why I feel like it's gonna be in Miami is because they just sold that big ticket on Algorand from Madrid to Miami on November 29th, which is the same dates right around when Art Week was going on in Miami.
Art Basel.
Yeah. I don't see any reason why not to do it in Miami, so I feel like let's get it. Get your plane tickets ready for Miami around that time and get ready to see.
Okay, we're going to do a live podcast and everything.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Yeah. All right, so that's just about wraps it up, I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right. Well, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. As I said before, hit the like button on this video. Go check out their videos over at Passive Income Network and Crypto for Change. And, of course, we will catch you in the next episode, guys.
Earth Day 2022. Let's go.
All right. See you later, guys.